My name is Tarina Pendergraft, and this is my informative speech. I'm going to talk about the Amish Mennonite. Mennonites are a branch of the Christian church with roots in the European Roman Catholic of the 16th century. Some of the members of the Roman Catholic Church in those days did not agree with the infant baptism, which now they call christening. Among other things that they did not like that the Catholics practiced, they chose to separate themselves. They became known as Anabaptists at that time, which means baptize only adults. They felt that you could not properly be baptized and give yourself to Jesus unless you were an adult. They were actually persecuted, and many were killed for practicing this. The name Mennonite came from a Dutch priest named Menno Simons, who converted to Anabaptist faith after his brother was persecuted and murdered for practicing Anabaptist after he was baptized as an adult. Simons became their leader at that time. Later on, in the late 1600s, there became another split because some of the members of the Mennonite faith felt that the Mennonites were getting away from the Simon teachings. They were becoming more laxed in their church duties. They chose a more tight-knit community. They believed in shunning for members of the church that did not, agree with them or that did something wrong. Not everybody chose this way, so there was a split at that time. Their leader was Jacob Ammon. He was a Swiss leader, and at that point they took the name Amish. So then you had the Amish and the Mennonite. In 1683, William Penn in America offered the Mennonites 5,000 acres of land in Pennsylvania. They could come to Pennsylvania, they could farm this land, and they were free to practice their religion. At this point in time, that is when Germantown was founded, which now today still exists, but it's actually part of Philadelphia. As time went on, more Mennonites came over from Europe. So everybody was coming to Pennsylvania, and they were running out of land. So eventually, they went into Ohio and Indiana. And then in the 18th century, the Amish actually started coming, and they came into Berks County, Pennsylvania. And due to the land shortage, they ended up dispersing further out into Pennsylvania. To this day, your older order Amish are mostly in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. Those are the stricter. They don't use electricity, any of the modern technologies that we use. The Mennonite, they are spread all over the eastern United States, even into Ontario, Canada. They choose to live more by faith. They are very friendly and outgoing people. They don't what am I trying to say? I lost it. They're not they readily share their faith with everybody. They don't just keep it amongst themselves. Their children are brought up to elect service to the church rather than to military service. They do not believe in war or any type of conflict at all. They emphasize service to others as an important way of expressing one's faith. A large number are spend most of their lives as missionaries and volunteers of helping people that are in need. They still prefer the simple dress, and the women have to wear a head covering. Their children only go to the 8th grade. Some people find that appalling, but they actually tested 8th grade students, Mennonite students with 8th grade English students, and they test way beyond what we test at in the 8th grade. They don't feel that college is necessary because they don't aspire to be doctors and lawyers, and when they're born, they know that they're going to be, they are actually taught from birth how to become carpenters, farmers, and that's their way of life. They don't feel the need for the education. They also, a lot of people don't think that the Mennonites pay taxes, and they do pay taxes. They pay all taxes. The only thing that Mennonites do not pay are Social Security tax, because they don't use Social Security tax because they believe in taking care of their own people. If someone has a disability, or if it's an elder person in the family, someone else or others in the family learn how to take care of that person until their death. They do not go to nursing homes. It's very rare they go to hospitals or doctors. They choose to live a much less stressful life as we do, which more than likely has to do with why they have less diseases and less sickness amongst them. They do not join the military. They are exempt from the draft. They do drive tractors. Some don't, some do. Some just drive horses and buggies. Some even actually have driver's license. It's very rare. But the Mennonites do. A lot of them do have electricity. They do have heat, air. Some have televisions. Some even have cell phones because they are actually business people now. It's always been a confusing thing for people as to what the Mennonites were, where they came from. I've heard so many people say they don't pay taxes. They do pay taxes. So the Mennonites are very misunderstood and appear to be incompatible with the modern world. Their intense faith and traditions have by turn captivated and repelled people. Some people don't like them. Some people get irritated with them. Some people do like them. They have a history, though, of persecution. They have fought for what they believe in. What started as a tiny band of radicals has grown to over 1 million members today and scatters all over the globe, mainly in the eastern United States.